I started to pay attention to these subtleties. I really started to pay attention to recognize patterns of the bones of how they should normally move, how the different parts of the body and the different bones should breathe. Some of them come out and then come in, some of them rotate forward and then rotate back. You can feel things at a cellular level, you can influence things at a cellular level. And the body has this innate intelligence that I learned about to shift. We would sit around on beach circles once or twice a week. We would go onto the beach and burn some sage and go into a meditation together and talk about things. And we would see UFOs that would pop up over the ocean. And guys, I've seen some visions before. I've seen some, people, when people report in meditations, they see wispy colors and random images that pop into their mind and everything. But I don't know if at that time I had anything that was like this vivid, this intense, this, indescribable happen. I felt like I was levitating. Like I was like, my whole body was like shaking and I didn't know whether to laugh or to cry. I was starting to work with this type of energy, like the chakras, and had this energy flow that I was like directly connected to a source energy to flow through me. And this energy was coming through my hands and I could actually move things and manipulate things with my hands. The chakras are like back and front. They're wheels of consciousness in your body. They're these energetic portals, if you will, that hold energy. They hold information. They hold your programming, your memories, your wounds. When I wormhole down into the source, I sit there for a while and I sit with that energy. And that's when you get curious. And that's when the downloads come in. That's when the messages come in. That's kind of the work that I do now is that's this energy alchemy work. But I really love it because it takes this cosmic woo-woo, non-physical realm that we can't see and makes it very tangible so that we can lock it into our nervous systems and literally become those walking beings. Your chakras are the very gateway to this non-physical awareness of yourself, this higher connection to your intuition, to source energy, to the synchronicity of the universe. When you sit down as a rookie meditator, you have no idea what you're doing except for the fact that you're just sitting there with your eyes closed, trying to hum your way into a peace of mind and not think about your to-do list. When you think about a light source, the sun, that shines through a prism hanging in your window and then creates a rainbow reflection on the wall, this is so cool. That is basically how source energy, you are an extension of source energy. When I started to tune into my chakras, my light body, that was when all of my systems started to come online. That's when I really started to physiologically feel like I was an extension of source energy. So once you start to understand and start to leverage the energy and the power that you have in the sacral chakra, like you really start to manifest shit fast and shit starts happening in your life really quick. A lot of people don't allow themselves to feel pleasure. And there's a lot of shame and there's a lot of guilt involved in feeling pleasure, not just sexual pleasure, like pleasure in life. The frequency of love just has such a crazy power to heal. Tuned in and opened and activated third eye chakra are totally tuned into their intuition. They just know things. And they are just guided by a higher power. It is like an eagle eye perspective of an eagle that flies over top of you, over top of your shoulder, and has a eagle eye perspective on everything, and is able to see from an aerial view what is behind you, what's ahead of you, what's around you, and you will be guided that way. Stop saying that shit. Stop it. That is your internal narrative. And one thing that really comes online when you start to meditate and you start to take inventory of your thoughts is your shitty internal narrative and the thoughts that you kind of just think. And you're like, where are these thoughts coming from? In the beginning, there was the word. If you knew how powerful your word is, you would never speak another negative word in your life.